Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot. And today I wanted to talk about the twin flame mirror and why the counterpart runs. So if you're in the energy of separation, running and chasing and facing all kinds of struggles, I think we're all kind of being called to go deep within our shadow self, because if your twin flame is running from you, in essence, you are running from you as well. So when we go through this separation energy, this is where we go deep within to figure out what the heck is going on inside of us. Because we are one soul incarnated in two bodies, this is a soul contract that we agree to when it comes to healing and opening up to this deep spiritual love, because we are incredibly connected. And we have signed up for this mission in order to help each other heal at the deepest levels. So nothing can remain between us but that unconditional love, joy, and peace. So, you know, we experience that very blissful beginning stage of the relationship. And then usually all of these past festering issues come up. And this is where we kind of have to face that mirror. We have to face our shadows, and we have to get rigorously honest with ourselves to figure out what the heck is going on in that mind of ours. So when we have that initial soul recognition, that's when we kind of embrace this clarion call to action. And that clarion call is sparking this deep internal inner transformation. So there's usually this very strong masculine essence as part of the twin flame connection that is asking us to go deeper. So this clarion call to action is sent out. And this is where we journey away from surface level connections, and we step away from shallowness, and we go deep into the depths of these spiritual realms as part of this transformation journey. So when we tap into all of these higher realms, all of these higher states of analysis, that's where we kind of have to get rigorously honest with ourselves. So the feminine energy, it's not so much about coming together, but it's about going into all of these unresolved issues so we can move forward and bond together over the hardships that we've faced. And I kind of feel, you know, we all have the key. We always have the key the entire time of the journey. So until we go deep into these unconscious emotions, these unconscious energies, and all of these primal fears when it comes to who we are in the inside, we can't really transform the connection in our physical reality. So it's about going into all of these repressed aspects of the human psyche. And we kind of have to confront all of our shadows. So the twin serves as a mirror when it comes to all of these unhealed aspects of self. So when we fully embrace our shadow self from within, and we shine all of this light into the darkness, and we feed all of these wounded aspects of self-love, that's when we can embrace the alchemy of self-love. So that really is the crux when it comes to the twin flame journey as a whole. It's not just about being in love. It's not just about finding the perfect man or the perfect woman of your dreams. It's about transforming the darkness, all of this unknown part of self, all of these human illusions when it comes to hurt and pain, bringing that into the light and using the power of love to reach a place of resolution. So when we go into this shadow aspect, it really doesn't hurt to accept all of these past pains. And we have to accept everything bad that has happened to us. And that's kind of where we begin to pick up all of these pieces, all of these fragmented pieces of ourselves, and we shine that bright light of reflection back to us, because in essence, your twin truly does love you. So as long as we keep running from ourselves and we are full of all of this unconscious chaos and fears and outworn beliefs and all of these counter intentions, we're going to keep continuing to have all of this chaos and conflict reflected back to us, and we're going to have that twin still run from us. So it really is about embracing this mirage that's kind of calling us to go within and heal, and to heal these wounds at the deepest level. So the more we focus on what's going on outside of us and trying to fix this energy, the more we push energy onto the counterpart, the more we're gonna face problems. And then we're strengthening this reiterance to the universe, send me more separation, send me more running. Because our thoughts and our words will always fester inside and be reflected externally until we heal that true wound from the inside out. So this is where we go into the depths of our innermost self, where we find our true authenticity, and this is where we can really alchemize all of these energies. So twin flame or not, the journey is an inner quest, inner revolution to resolve all of these past hurts so we can stop running from our own shadow, our own darkness. And so the biggest gift I've learned on my journey was to go deep into my psyche and to understand why I had these patterns in relationships and how it all stemmed back to my childhood fears and all of these, you know, monsters in my headspace. So energy clearing really has done me a world of good on the journey. And I do this, you know, going into meditation, transmuting all of these fears, all of this darkness into light. And we do this by deep inner self-love. There's no other way around it. So if you want to have union in your physical reality, you kind of have to reach a place of union of self first in order to have the outer union of souls. So a lot of cosmic energies recently have been pushing us all to realize this fully, that we in essence are our own saviors. We're here to save ourselves. And the more we push and push this energy onto our counterpart, the more we receive this reflected back to us. So we're kind of being asked to be the hero of our own lives is a big part of the twin flame journey. And I know how extremely painful and exhausting and terrifying and tough the awakening journey can be, but it really does all come back to love. And when we can clear away all of this emotional baggage and all of these fears using all of our metaphysical tools as alchemists, that's when we can really begin to feel ourselves again. So it's a big part of the journey is feeling ourselves. So we usually call in our counterpart, and then we go into this stage of separation. And we go into separation, and usually we instigate this ourselves. I know for myself, I instigated separation myself. In order to kind of speed up the resolution of all of these past life blocks, all of these negative cycles. And so if you're not with your twin right now, you can always make the most of this time and this energy by going deep into practicing self-love. And the more you lift yourself up into these states of higher consciousness and you match that energy of unconditional love, your mirror soul will rise with you. So as you heal, they heal. And that will always be mirror reflected. So when we approach this twin flame connection from a place of I need you, I want you, then we're playing into fear. And then we're going to keep attracting all of this dysfunction in all of our relationships. And so self-love and self-acceptance is the only way to reach a state of inner wholeness. And it's really like a game changer. And this is how we can truly transform anything going on in our outer reality. I say it all the time, as within, so without. So whatever has happened in the past, you need to remember that we did come here to reunite in love. And we do have what it takes to reach that state of inner wholeness. No matter how hopeless things may seem, it's about finding the solution when it comes to going into the darkness, into the depths of this darkness. So how it works with the runner, they will run and run and run and run. In essence, you know, we're running from ourselves and they're running from themselves. So how do you kind of deal with the running stage? So the biggest thing is to remain calm, to understand, you know, they're running from themselves too when they run from us. And so we always reflect back to one another what we hold inside. And when somebody on the journey is full of insecurity, emotional baggage, past hurts, any feelings of inadequacy or shame, their instinct is to run as far as I can because this person makes me look at myself. And we all know how uncomfortable it is to face our inner shadows. And so when the masculine counterpart runs, they're afraid to face themselves. So as the feminine, what I've learned is to stay in this space of unconditional love. it's really hard to grasp it. It's not that they don't love you, that they're kind of just coming from a place of fear. And then we'll feed off the fear, and then we begin this chase or running energy. And I've never actually chased, but it's like an energetic push and pull. It's this push and pull. And so when we stop chasing this high, because this person activated all of these higher states of consciousness, and we're obsessed with them because we're like, oh my God, why won't this person recognize me? Why do they keep running from me when this is my person? A big lesson as the divine feminine on the journey is to let go and surrender, to stop chasing. Because when we're chasing something, when we're running after something, we're giving the universe this vibration of, hey, it's always eluding me, so I got to keep chasing after it. And when we kind of just go and be still, and, you know, we go within and we're not afraid to lose this person, that's when we could go into all of these unconscious fears. And as hurtful as it is during this stage, the running is something that is part of the journey that is put in place to kind of alter our behaviors, to alter our thought processes. And so it really is all triggered by fear. And fear is one of the biggest illusions. What is the absence of love? Fear. So this is all too a part of, you know, human history, human patterning. And so when the runner withdraws, when the runner runs, it's not because they've fallen out of love or that they've lost interest. It's the fact that the emotional connection and energetic connection is so intense, they run because of all of these unconscious fears. So even if we stop chasing and we reach a place of resolution, the runner can still run is the energy, because these subconscious fears have to be fully triggered to the surface. So I want to talk about this. So when we run from intimate emotional connections, we run as a self-defense mechanism, and we've all been guilty of self-sabotaging when it comes to our deeply rooted fears. So psychologically speaking, a lot of us self-sabotage before the other person can hurt us because we're so afraid of getting our hearts broken. So the separation stage of the journey really is this doorway opportunity for us to attune to our own inner feelings and get in alignment with our own energies as well as our twins' energies. So, you know, we all can react in defensive motivation sometimes. And all of this fear really is a fear of rejection because of past rejections, or a fear of not being good enough, not having enough to offer, or it all stems back to an abandonment wound from childhood, which creates this deep feeling of unworthiness and underlying hurt. So there's many different types of fear when it comes to running as part of this experience. And so rejection. So this unconscious fear of rejection will get your counterpart to reject you first is a big one. Or fear of not being good enough. So they'll expect the ultimate rejection, and then once again, they're going to reject you first. Or this fear of abandonment. So they're going to leave you before you can leave them is another thing. And they self-sabotage. And when it comes to this fear of unworthiness, you know, the runner will feel like there's nothing good that could ever come of this, that nothing good is ever meant for me. So that's another fear that we kind of got to work through on the journey. And this fear of hurt, this general fear of, you know, hey, if this is something good, there's going to be pain that will follow. And so we self-sabotage and run. So a lot of twins run because of childhood trauma. And a lot of this is stemming around past life timeline trauma as well. And so a lot of us run without truly understanding why. And it's all due to all of the pain that we've experienced, because trauma can become deeply embedded in our conscious mind, in our subconscious mind. And on an emotional and energetic level, we kind of get trapped in this illusion of negativity. And so this can stem around like this lifelong fear of commitment when it comes to romantic relationships, because of feeling abandoned by one or both parents in childhood. So for myself, I never fully felt loved by my father. So I would crave this love from a man over and over again, but I wasn't really able to fully open up because of the pain of the wound. And so until we kind of go into that pain and face it once and for all, we're going to be met with this running and chasing and all of these fears coming in between the counterparts from getting closer again. So subconscious pain is one of the biggest reasons why we go into separation. One of the biggest reasons why one or both of the counterparts run. So when we get to the root of the fear and we release that out of our system, then all of these fears can kind of fade away. And when you clear your energy system, you're clearing both yours and your counterparts. So when we remove our deep triggers of them running and not coming back, we also remove their triggers of being abandoned. So because we are so intricately connected through our etheric body, our chakra pathway, because we are originally one consciousness, but two people, this is why we trigger one another. And so the root of running is always based on these old wounds, past life wounds, that keep needing to be triggered again and again and again until all of this karma and negativity is kind of cleared. So sometimes the feminine can be the runner, you know, and we usually take turns. So usually one or both counterparts run right after having a beautiful, amazing experience with love, togetherness, or sexual intimacy. And when we reach this deep level of climax within this intimacy, and we become so close with our energies and so open up, that's when all of the wounds are kind of ripped open, and that's when all of this triggering kind of happens. And this is where we kind of remove ourselves from the connection because of the intensity. And the separation does allow us to each individually raise our connection into harmony, into these higher states of consciousness. And so we kind of need that energetic space to calm down, to feel safe, to open up again, because fear is the automatic reason why we are triggered and we are running. And when all the fears are gone, then we can open up again to a whole new way of connecting with our counterparts. So once we've cleared all of the baggage and we've made peace with the past, then we can come together with no more cycles of running, chasing, triggering, and all of that good stuff. So as you align with your inner truth and you anchor into this deep truth of knowing, yes, this is my person. And you know, my Venus and Gemini, I'll go back and forth. One day I love them, one day I hate them. This is my person, this can't be my person. How could the love of my life rip my life to shreds like this, and vice versa? And so you go into the polarized duality of aligning to this truth. And once you anchor in that truth of, hey, yes, this is my person, we will always share this bond of love because we are the same soul. And no matter what's happening on earth or in our human existence, we are always bonded together through the heart, through unconditional love. So when we can stay centered in that truth, and we can stay centered in a calm mind space, that's when we can find this inner state of peace. And that's when you kind of know that you and your counterpart are never ever going to lose each other. So you can't lose the other half of your soul. So, you know, separation energy on the journey is asking us to go beyond all of our human masks, all of these facets of self that we, you know, put an illusion on for, that prevents us from connecting with our heart and our own intuition. So when we anchor in our truth and we know that our twin can never truly leave us, that's when things can drastically change and the momentum can attract them kind of back to you. So it's about stepping into inner confidence. And I know that's a tough one, but when you step into inner confidence and you are owning the journey, your twin will always, always come back to you. Their soul is always there with you, even when you're not in physical connection. So when we change this energetic momentum from the inside and we release all of this worrying and we stop focusing on losing them, then we stop reinforcing the separation and we stop reinforcing the negativity. And so that will attract them back to you as if like a magnet, but you have to be in a state of inner wholeness, inner peace. And we can always choose to connect with our twin flames, like in the higher realities, in the ethers, in the soul planes. And this is where we can choose to nourish this love, nourish this connection, nourish this togetherness. And many of us will be shown what's going on in our counterpart's life, what actions have been taken or not taken. And we can really interact with the telepathic connection, and we can strengthen this bond between us, even in physical separation. We don't have to be in physical connection for us to be able to interact with our twin's higher self presence. Because how it's worked for me as my counterpart has always been my biggest spiritual guide, telepathically guiding me towards this state of wholeness. And so at the core, there is eternal unconditional love. And so this is where we strengthen these higher interactions. And this is where we can really begin to enjoy the bond that we share. And the more love you feed yourself, the easier it is for your twin to release any remaining animosity. And we can kind of get them to move into this state of deep emotional connection again, where they will be drawn back in. So no matter what is happening in your 3D reality, we do need to come to this complete inner awareness that the twin soul has nothing but unconditional love for us. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about a little bit today, to bring forward some clarity. I've been doing a lot of twin flame readings recently, and I know forgiveness and fear has been coming up a lot, and we kind of have to go into this higher state of consciousness and to be present with ourselves if we really want to heal these pains and awaken the counterpart to kind of return to us. So I really hope that little tidbit of information gave you a little bit of insight into the running chasing dynamic. I look forward to bringing forward more little videos in regards to the twin flame connection and what I've learned on my own journey. If you would like to book a personal or a twin soul reading with me, I do encourage you to check out that description box below, guys. And I look forward to connecting with you all again next time. Thank you.